everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video we have a declutter. If you are new here, my name is Natalie. I post videos all about makeup and beauty. If you like what you see here today, I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave, but why don't we get started? So I have been trying to get better at decluttering items from my collection if I'm not enjoying using them, not just trying to use them up for the sake of it. So I've been throwing items into this little box and I had enough together that I thought I would just film a video, seeing as I'd kind of gone all out glam for other videos that I'm filming. I have got a little bit of time left before I need to go to bed, so I thought I'd grab this and just go over these products that I'm decluttering. I think there are 12 products altogether that I am decluttering. Just in case you are interested as to what is on my eyes, I do actually have this palette from Juvia's Place. This is the Allure 1 palette and is something that I got in a recent mystery box from Juvia's Place. And then I do also have some false lashes on, which are from Glamnetic. They are the Living Lashes. So yeah, like I say, kind of went all out with the makeup, trying to film as many videos as I can. It is currently 11:15 at night, so it is nearly time to call it a night, but I thought I would have enough time to just quickly do this declutter. So the first of the items that I'm decluttering, which is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, is this cleanser from the Inky list. This is the Oat Cleansing Balm. I have made a good attempt at this one, but I just realised I wasn't enjoying using it, and I was just using it for the kind of sake of everyone was saying about how good it was. And I kept just thinking, I'm going to realise soon how good it is, but yeah, I just didn't love it. Whilst it is pretty effective at removing makeup, I wasn't using this like I would use my traditional cleansing balm. I was using this more like a cleanser, which I think it is kind of like a hybrid product. I just didn't love how thick the product was. I didn't feel like it kind of moved around enough to shift things. It did eventually remove the makeup, but I just felt like it was a bit more hard work than just using my normal cleansing balm. It does say you can also leave it on as a face mask, and I think I tried that once, but I then found it quite stubborn to sort of remove because it is that slightly thicker consistency. Whether I'm going in with too much product, I don't know. It's nice enough that it's kind of unscented, it's sort of no frills, and it does remove makeup. It just, I couldn't seem to get it work for me, and I just didn't love it. And I've probably used about half of it, so I say I did give it a good go. And because I had used half of it, it was kind of like I should just use this up, but I think it was only £10, so it wasn't if I was trying to use up an expensive product to get my money's worth. I just didn't love it, and I say I think that's probably going to be an unpopular opinion because I've heard so many people raving about this one, but yeah, it just didn't work for me. Next we have a couple of brow products which I actually found in what used to be my makeup backup bag, which I'd somehow kind of put at the back of a drawer, presumed I'd taken everything out of it because I'd changed the way that I stored my makeup, and was just looking for an actual makeup bag for an overnight stay and ended up stumbling across these two brow products in the bottom of this makeup bag. I don't want to think about how old they are, so it's definitely time just for that reason alone that they need to be decluttered, but they are obviously ones that I don't reach for because I'd forgotten they were there. The first is definitely one that was a favourite for a long time, and this is from Rimmel London and is the Brow This Way Brow Sculpture Kit. This was the first ever product that I used to fill in my brows. It has a wax on one side and then a brow pomade on the other. I never used to fill in my brows as a lot of people did, but when I first got into YouTube and things and following people filling in their brows and realising how sparse my brows actually were, this was the product that I used, and I just used this alone. I then eventually found the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil, which is what I use to this day. But for the longest time, this is all that I used, and I think this is probably like the third or fourth one that I purchased because they did last a long time. I did love that it was just a kind of all-in-one little kit with the brush and the spoolie and things. And now thinking about it, I should keep hold of that spoolie because there have been times when I've wanted to reach for a clean spoolie and the one on my Goof Proof has got a little bit caked up, so I actually think I'm going to take the spoolie out and give it a good clean because it'll be handy to keep hold of. So now I'm really glad I did this declutter because I never thought to keep ones from previous kits. I think it is still a great product, it's just not my personal preference as to what I like to use now. I do much prefer the eyebrow pencil, but if you are just starting out filling your brows and you don't want to purchase something too expensive, I would definitely recommend this. The other brow product is pretty much the same thing, it's just a lot more of an expensive product. This is from Benefit and is the Foolproof Brow Powder. I think it was trying this and not enjoying it that made me realise whilst Benefit are good at brows, I just didn't love this, so it made me want to try the Goof Proof, which I then ended up falling in love with. So this is a two-tone brow pomade. You've got a lighter tone, which is going to be for the front of your brows, and then a darker shade for the end of your brows. One of the main reasons why I didn't love this product was actually because of the brush. It does have a very dense kind of sponge applicator with it, which I just didn't feel like was very good at applying the product. It wasn't until I think I stopped using this that I seen that there was a spoolie at the bottom, which again I think I'm actually going to keep because these look like two very different spoolies. One's a bit more compact. Seeing as I'm getting rid of the product anyway, I might as well keep these two spoolies. So this horrible sponge applicator, which I don't know why I kept it in the bag, that can go in the bin. Now I think about it, I think I actually bought this on an aeroplane in duty free because it was a little bit cheaper and I had wanted to try a Benefit brow product, and because I was going from the Rimmel one, I felt like a eyebrow pencil was too much of a jump, so this is what I first tried. It does look like I've hardly touched it, to be honest, but I think it's just because it just didn't work for me. So I ended up going back to the Rimmel and eventually I tried the Goof Proof. So yeah, this one, if you are going to try this kind of product, I definitely recommend the Rimmel one, which I do think both of these are still available. The Rimmel's definitely worth it and it's probably a quarter, if not a fifth of the price. Next, I have a couple of skincare items from e.l.f. The first of which is this Daily Hydration Moisturizer. This one is just a product that was okay. There wasn't anything fantastic about it. It's kind of a good no frills moisturiser, I suppose. I am definitely trying to get better at applying day cream at the moment because most of my skincare routine is done overnight. At a push, I will remember to put some kind of moisturiser on in the morning, but that's about it, and I'm definitely not consistent with it. So I did pull out all of my day creams and was working my way through and seeing which ones I liked. And this one I just wasn't really a fan of. I'm going to go to the effort of putting a day cream on. I do want it to have SPF in it because that then saves me having to put SPF on in addition to the moisturiser. So it didn't have that going for it. It was just a bog standard moisturiser and I just didn't love how it felt on my skin. It was quite a thin consistency and did soak in, but I felt like it made my skin feel a little bit tight. I wasn't a massive fan of the scent that it had to it. Whilst it wasn't a strong scent, I still didn't really like it. And because I have quite a few day creams in my collection, because I wasn't loving it, I decided to just be brutal and declutter it. So it's okay, it's affordable, but it's nothing fantastic. The other e.l.f. product is this illuminating eye cream, and this one I decluttered because I actually had an adverse reaction to it. I have got a lot of open eye creams in my collection because it's a product that does take the longest time to go through, and I was getting a little bit bored of the ones I had open, so thought I would try a new one and decided to go for what I thought was the smallest one in my collection. But again, even this amount of product will take a long time with it being an eye cream. And I think I did have another one of my eye creams still in my drawer that I was working out of, and I think I used this and then the next day my eyes felt a little bit dry. Thought nothing of it. I think it was a cold day, so just put it down to that. I think I used my other eye cream that night and then the next night I used this, and again the next day my eyes just didn't feel great. So because I thought it might have been this, I used it again the next night and then my eyes just felt stingy and puffy, and I actually had to remove this eye cream after it had just soaked in because it was just making my under eyes feel really tight and stingy. I don't know what is even in this product because this did come as part of a gift set, so I don't have the ingredients or anything, but something in here just doesn't agree with my under eye area at all. I didn't even go in with a lot of product, especially when I thought that this might have been a problem. I did initially think that it was just a cooling eye cream, which was why it was kind of feeling the way it did, but then I realised it wasn't really cooling, it was more like a kind of burn on my under eyes. So I did stop using this immediately and just put it straight into this box, and I wouldn't recommend this product at all. Another day cream that I'm getting rid of is this one from Lumen. This is the Arctic Hydra Care Cream. This is an okay cream. It's a nice thick consistency, so it does feel nice and luxurious on the skin. But for me, it's a little bit too heavy for a day cream. I did definitely give this one a good go. I'm probably about halfway through. And this is another product kind of like the Untitled Cleansing Balm that I was like, well, I'm already halfway through, I might as well just see it through. But it was becoming a chore to reach for it and I didn't want to really apply it. So that's why I decided, no, I need to be brutal. I've got enough stuff there to be getting on with. I can just declutter it. So that's why it went in this box. I don't love the scent on this product. To me, it's almost kind of like a stale type scent. And I don't think it's because this product's out of date, because I don't believe I've had it in my collection for that long. I know I said one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy it was because it was quite a heavy cream. I've just actually noticed it's called a rich day cream, so I should have maybe guessed that I wouldn't have liked it. So if you do like a more rich, luxurious face cream, you might like it, but for me it was just too heavy for the day, and I didn't notice it's an excessive amount of hydrating that could justify being so heavy. So yeah, gave it a good enough shot. I used half of it but decided to just call it a day. Next, I've got this product from Rare Beauty. This is the Always an Optimist Illuminating Primer. This was actually something that I got as a free gift when I purchased the Rare Beauty mascara from Space NK. I do believe that is the only brand over here that now carries Rare Beauty, and it is only a recent addition. But I was really excited when I could pick this free sample because I seen that it was 5ml of product, and I was even more excited when it turned up like this and not in a sachet. Does come with a little pump and is a miniature of the full-size product, so it is a great way to fully test the product out. It just didn't work for me at all. I did give it a good go, as you can see there. I've used a fair amount of it, but it just didn't work for me at all. To be honest, when it comes to primers, it's not really illuminating ones that I reach for. I tend to reach for more blaring ones or more moisturising ones. I don't really want anything illuminating. But I had a problem where this was just making foundation look bad. There were a couple of foundations that I tried it with, one of which it kind of pilled up and the foundation just didn't apply right on top. I think that was the serum foundation from The Ordinary, which is obviously a thinner consistency, but it just didn't mix well with this one at all. And then I did try it with my matte foundation that I love from Primark, which is a very matte finish, so I thought with it being illuminating it might look nice, but it just made it look patchy. I couldn't really get it even. It just made it go horrible on my nose, and I have issues with foundation settling on my nose anyway, so I do tend to try and go in with some sort of primer there, but this was just not the primer for that. It just didn't look great. So I am glad I paired it with two foundations that I know work really well, so I could see the kind of flaws in it. So I'm definitely glad I tried it because it isn't a product I would have purchased, especially with it being illuminating. And I do like that Space NK do really good samples with purchases, and this was a fantastic sample because it is enough product to fully test it out. And if this is your kind of thing, they probably will get a lot of people purchasing this, having got a full-size kind of sample like this. But yeah, it just didn't work for me at all. If I'm honest, I also didn't love the mascara. Not enough to declutter it. I am still using it, but it's definitely not a favourite. So it just kind of put me off trying more from the brand. The next thing I'm decluttering is actually a makeup brush. This is from BH Cosmetics and is the V2 brush. Apologies that it is dirty, but there was no point me cleaning it if I'm going to be putting it in the bin. This was my go-to blush brush and I absolutely love reaching for it. It's got really soft bristles on it. It was the perfect size that I could apply my blush in a targeted area without it going everywhere. But the last time I washed this brush, it didn't seem to perform the same again. Kind of like the brush bristles were sort of staying at awkward angles. I don't know if I've somehow loosened the glue. And then I noticed at the top that some of them have kind of come out slightly. Not enough that I could pull them out, but I don't even know if you'll be able to see at the top there, but there's this sort of lump in the bristles, so it's not an even dome of bristles anymore. So when I was applying blush with it, I'd feel like I'd have kind of one sort of concentrated area of blush and then the rest would be a bit more diffused by the lower bristles. I feel like I have fully got my money's worth out of this brush because I have used it to death and I have washed it a fair few times. So I am sad to see it go because it is a nice brush, but it does put me off buying an identical one if it's going to do that exact thing again. I've got plenty of other brushes in my collection that I can use for the time being. The one that I'm currently using is from Luxie and I do really like it. It is slightly bigger than this one, but I do really like it and it is a nice brush. So yeah, I do normally recommend BH Cosmetics brushes, but this one just has seen better days and went a bit wrong, whereas my other ones are absolutely fine. Next, I'm getting rid of this lash oil. This is from Bow Organics. And this says, for healthy, hydrated, beautiful lashes. I think I might have got this in a latest in beauty box. I can't quite remember. I've had it for some time now. And I think I did use this one pretty consistently for a good couple of weeks, but I never really noticed any difference with my lashes. I also didn't love the kind of application process of this one. I found it to be very messy because it does come in a little dropper. So it says to apply a drop or two to your index fingers and gently massage into your eyelashes from root to tip. I have tried a few other different eyelash serums and the ones that I've tried come with a little brush applicator and I feel like that is much more easier to apply. Yes, okay, this is probably a bit better in that you're having to massage it in, but I didn't notice anything from it even after a few weeks consistent use. And because I didn't love it, it was very messy and I'd kind of get it in my eye and everything like that. I just thought it was time to get rid, and I'm not overly bothered by the length of my lashes anyway. Next, I'm getting rid of a couple of lip masks. The first is from Fourth Ray Beauty. This is the Vanilla Pearl lip mask, and I think this might have been in collaboration with Mulan. It's an okay lip mask, it kind of does the job, but because I'm comparing any lip mask that I try to the ones from Laneige, it's not as good as that. I also had the issue with the fact that it was sparkly. Yes, okay, I'm applying this as a night mask and no one's seeing me, but I just didn't love that it was sparkly. I don't know if you'll be able to see there at all. I know it said Vanilla Pearl, so I was expecting some kind of sheen to it, but this is just outright glittery when you apply it to your lips. It's not gritty, you can't feel it in any way, but yeah, I just didn't love it, but I've given it a good go. It was okay, it was moisturising, but I also felt like if I used this kind of so many nights in a run, my lips would dry out rather than be moisturised. So yeah, I just didn't love this one, so I'm going to declutter it. And then the other lip mask is from Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Lip Sleeping Mask. Again, it was an okay lip mask, another one that if I used a bit too much, I felt like it dried my lips out. Nowhere near as good as the ones from Laneige. The scent of this one put me off it more than anything. It is supposed to have the kind of butter bronzery type scent to it, but to me it smells like watermelon, which is my least favourite scent. I don't like anything watermelon scented. When you initially smell it, when you open it up, it does have a sort of like peachy passion fruit scent to it, but whenever it's applied to my lips, all I can smell is watermelon, so that was what put me off it. I have again used it enough, but because I've got a couple of the Laneige lip sleeping masks there, and I also have one from, I think it's called Awake, which I think is a sister line of Tarte, and I'm really enjoying that one. I just didn't need all these lip masks open at the same time, so I thought I would just declutter it because I was kind of using it for the sake of it. Then the final product that I'm decluttering is from Glow Recipe, and this is the Banana Souffle Moisture Cream. I was so disappointed with this product. I just had the highest of hopes for it because I love things that are banana scented. I'd heard such great things about Glow Recipe generally as a brand, and I'd heard people saying that they really like this product, but I just didn't feel like the name kind of fit the bill. With it saying souffle, I was expecting it to be more of a kind of whipped consistency and a bit more of a luxurious feeling cream in that respect, but this is just a very, very watery moisturiser. You have to kind of stick your finger into it, apply it, because you can't scoop it out like I was expecting it to be. I did think it would be sort of aerated in some way with it being souffle. I know it's not mousse, but I just associated souffle with being kind of moussey. It does blend into the skin really nicely. It does smell nice. It does have not too strong of a banana scent, but it's just very, very watery. It's a bit difficult to apply, and I just feel like it goes a bit everywhere, and yeah, I just don't enjoy using it. If you can see, I have used about half of it, so it's another product that I did give a good go to, but I've got so much skincare in my collection, a lot of which are moisturisers like this. I need to start working my way through it, and I can't just be using a product up for the sake of it when I'm not enjoying using it, so I wouldn't recommend this one at all. There have been a couple of products from Glow Recipe that I've quite enjoyed, but this definitely wasn't one of them, and this was probably the one I was most excited to try. So that is all 12 products that I'm decluttering from my collection. I'm going to go and put this box back over by my vanity because I do want to keep the decluttering process going and just stick things in here that I'm not enjoying, especially skincare more than anything, because I've got so much skincare that I need to be getting through things. I've got things that I got in subscription boxes that I hadn't necessarily heard of before getting them. So it's not something that I've purchased myself. I just need to try them. If I don't like them, get rid, so that I can hopefully get my collection down a little bit more, because it's not going to be long before this isn't my beauty room anymore. We are going to have to convert it into a nursery. So I'm definitely going to have to find a new home for all my makeup and skincare. So I need to get it down as much as possible. So no doubt there will be another declutter video in the future. But other than that, that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.